Conversations with the Pumzile, the girl next door. You know it's about that time where we're having somebody special in our couch to tell us more about what they do well. So, you know my story. Conversations, when I meet people, I make sure that I milk them of everything that they know so that everybody can be able to learn. It is so difficult currently to get information because there is so much. So we are trying. So I'm having Tarie, Tarie Wamali, Watachalete, Wamatankura. So today, before we ease into the festive season, we're talking finances, we're talking money, but and more, not just. So money is sure. Ebhayibhelini somewhere they say imali, impande, your soul. Google that, find it somewhere, read it somewhere, and then see what does it mean for you. But we will help you and unpack from our personal experience. Tarie,
Hi, Sis Pumzile.
how are you?
I'm good. So
Good.
nice to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for choosing conversations to share yourself. And I like that your other name is talent. You are talent. You are talented. You're doing so many things. I don't know how you handle it. Okay, I get asked that question a lot, but when I saw yours, I'm like, beauty, money, farming, and all that. Who is Tarie and where does Tarie come from? Before we get into the gist of story. So yeah, welcome.
Thank you. Oh, so Tarie is the girl who loves money. I'm not shy to say that. I do love money. And with my love for money, I love also teaching people how they can best take care of their money.
Nice.
And I also love like taking care of my money, spending it, enjoying it, and also giving it, also assisting the others who need help with it.
Yes.
So yeah,
Where are you from?
I'm from East Rand,
Yeah.
and I was born and bred in Zimbabwe, and I
have in-laws there.
in Zimbabwe. And I think my entrepreneur side of me, it came from my parents, because my father, he runs his own company, and I remember from a very young age, I think from grade 1, he used to wake up at 4 a.m.
Sure.
Imagine. And tell us about the business, or maybe tell us that you need to come to the office to do the files and all that. So I think from that age, it just started like picking it up on me that okay,
there's something to learn here.
Yeah, there's something to learn.
And then mom?
My mom is a farmer.
Okay.
She used to win like lots of awards as a master farmer, but now she's old. She no longer do that. But yeah, she was a farmer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Before you get on the other side of introducing yourself, I love the point that you started with you and your parents, what you've learned from them. Yeah. Because then that's who the gist of you is. You're born in the money people, entrepreneurs of note and award winning. So it means your journey is already set.
Yes.
So we'll be seeing awards, because I know you're author and all that. We'll sing awards coming soon.
They're on the way.
Cool. So when did you then feel the need that you want to start teaching?
So you know what, in 2020, I was on a soul-searching journey where I was like asking God, like, you know what, I know you always say we all have purposes here, but by that time, I hadn't like really discovered my purpose. I was just like a jack of all trades, like all over the place. If I hear that Pumzile, she's selling this, then I also jump into that. So I was like, no, I'm tired of this thing. I know there's a reason why my uncle named Big Talent, he used to say it, he used to rest in peace. He used to tell me when I was young that, you know what, I gave you this name Talent because there's so much greatness in you.
Wow, you got it from your uncle?
From my uncle, yes.
Oh, wow.
My late uncle. So he used to tell me that it's up to you to discover those talents in you. So in 2020, I started like, I really like being prayerful about it and asking God, okay, show me the lines, guide me, and COVID hit. So when COVID hit, like seen on social media, seen on social media, the news, people were being retrenched, and the worst part of it, many people were struggling because they didn't have any savings. You find someone who's been waiting for 30 years, but they were like stranded, like where do they start from? So with that, it also came in
others making wrong decisions if they have money, but they don't know what to do with it and how to invest it. Okay, wow.
So with that also, I think because also it was something which I was like asking for, I started seeing the light. So this other day when I was studying, I told you that I'm doing SEMA.
Yes.
I came across this subject.
Could be my member soon, from the other life, the other professional life. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So this other day I was studying, then I came across this topic. It's a budget stress testing.
Okay.
So
budget stress testing.
Yes.
I think I can feel that. I would dismally feel that.
So I got interested in that topic. Then I was like, I woke in the morning. I was like to Walter, not the topic I was reading last night. But it's stress
Who's
test.
Walter?
My husband.
Okay.
My husband Walter. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? The topic I was reading last night. They were saying that the banks do that, like they kind of stress test if they have enough funds for the war year and what. And I was like, you know what? I think as people as well, we can actually do that. Like maybe this month we say that maybe for the next 3 months we say that we're only gonna use your salary in case maybe I got retrenched, and see if we can be able to manage it and all that. So that's what basically budget stress test means. Like you're stress testing your incomes. If something major happens,
you are stress testing your income
to see if
not
anything
necessarily how you feel about money and all that.
No,
That's
stress
the difference.
testing.
No, definitely. Okay, then I can pass.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. So you are able to look into what you have,
Yes,
and look at what you need to do with it, to see how stressful is.
Yes.
That could be scary though.
Yeah. So just like maybe just like planning for the future. Like maybe we don't know what happens in the future. Maybe you might wake up then you don't have a job. Like what happened in 2020, people got retrenched.
And you have never checked.
You have never checked it. So if you maybe strain yourself in that period and see, are you able like to sustain on one income? Are you able to sustain it for the next 3 months, or maybe your first thing is to go and borrow the money? Then you see that there's a red flag here. There's something we need to be doing.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. So
and that is so new. You know what? Like I really appreciate having somebody, because we read a lot about money. You have financial advisors, you have all the other big banks and your brokers and telling you about financial planning, but it's at a different level. So this is totally different in terms of like first time. This is the first time hearing budget stress testing, and I'm already my flags are like So do you then help people to do that? So is there a survey? How does one do that?
So like now I was explaining like how I came to start about
Tarie.
So that time when I was reading that, I just told Walter that you know what, I want to write something on this topic. So I wrote a blog, but that time I didn't have a blog. So I just wrote an article on it. Then I posted it on this Facebook group where I was on, where people like used to encourage each other, like just to grow yourselves and all that. So with that article, like many people liked it, and they were like, you know what you're talking about, I think I also need to try and do it and see. So with that, when I saw like, okay, I think people are enjoying this topic. It's needed. It's needed, yes. So that's when I started my blog. So when I started my blog, I said, okay, I'm writing articles, but I'm not really reaching many people. And that time, remember, many people, they were working from home, and we kind of have more time to our hands. So I started having financial literacy lessons. So yes, on my lessons, we do also go into those topics, like how can you like just do that kind of a scenario planning, just to plan if something happens, because we don't know what tomorrow is, but we need to be prepared for it, so that when it comes, it won't be a shock.
You are also emotionally okay. Yes. Because you know what, I was very bad with money in terms of my relationship with it. Not necessarily how to use it, but my relationship with money was on another level. So the first book actually that I bought that helped me was this one, Financial Freedom. So, and when I picked it up, it was also not about the money itself, but emotions. Because sometimes when you are stressed, when that big amount comes, you start your being start wanting things that you never wanted before, but you forget about everything that is important to do. So and we need such information, and it doesn't get old.
It doesn't get old. So I always say like in my classes as well, like we also teach people like we all have different money personalities. So you need to understand your money personality and understand where like
the root
of it. Like when you have that age, like whenever you only get money, you just feel like no, I need to go and get that special. It was Black Friday, so I need to go and spend this for money without even planning about it.
When I'm mad, can I go shop? Like
emotional buying, emotional spending.
There is so much. Wow. So then you decided, okay, now this is the journey. You are in the background. You're also studying finances. You're also actually qualified in terms of finance. So it goes in. You had to go and find something that is part of you. So you're matching qualification and your talent.
Yes, and with that, like since we don't have any script, you mentioned that we don't know about money. We don't know. We just like it's all surrounded with emotions. Like
actually, money is the same thing as giving birth and having kids.
Yes, true.
Nobody can teach you those two things. There is no manual that comes with raising kids and taking care of your money. You must learn everywhere because it's your money. It's totally different to somebody else's money.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's so interesting. You're right.
Yeah. So with that, I also like looked at my past, like the way the relationships I had with my money, like sometimes you even laugh at yourself, like I don't know what I was thinking when I was making those decisions, you know, like then you kind of think and like do all the calculations of the money you have wasted on things you thought they were important, instead they were not that important. So with that I was like, you know what, I've got many stories to tell with my money mistakes, so I can teach people those money stories. And now it's up to them, like if they wanna do the mistakes I've done, or maybe they wanna do it better.
Yes, because we can always learn from each other's mistakes. So from the blog, then you went on YouTube channel where then now you started. So there's teaching where you can do a Zoom call or Teams,
Zoom
that
call,
one-on-one.
or even WhatsApp. But from next year, by God's grace, we want to start maybe having also like live sessions where face-to-face sessions. Yes.
But currently you do your one where you teach every month. You just post something with your article.
Yes.
And then books. When did then the books started? In the midst of all. In the midst of all.
So in 2020, when everything was starting, like okay. So my younger sister, she's also an author.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Tarie Rivarashi.
Coming for you.
Yeah.
We're coming for you. We're not going to talk about your book. You're coming.
So yeah, she's also an author. So like, so I had material, but that time I also started like deeper into researching. Both for you to be teaching something, you also need to learn that. You need to learn every day, and in the learning also you need to learn and unlearn and relearn. So it also came to that part of like every day I was always reading something, like going to people like Nicolette's channel, also checking what is she talking about. Because each time when you listen to someone, even if I talk about money, but each time when I maybe listen to someone who talks about money, I always learn something different. Because I don't know everything. I'm also still learning. So I started researching, and as I was researching, I was writing things down. And so yeah, this other day when I was sleeping, it just came to my mind that, you know what, I think with all this information, I think we need to put in a book. But
can I digress?
Yes.
You know what? That for me is the key to, back to your name, talent. Key, knowing self, understanding that everything that you have is within. When you're sleeping, then the transition between sleeping, it means all that research and everything in you had to come in a way to tell you that now you are ready.
Yes.
Wanted to get that out.
Yeah, and once you spoke about that, I think this, I always say like writing is also spiritual. Like this book, you know, like everything.
I felt that. That's why I had to digress. I just felt that. Yeah.
Like with this book, you know, like everything in this book, it came as a dream. Like that night I couldn't sleep. I had to wake up and told her that, you know what, I need to get a book and a pen. And started writing the poetry stuff. Even the title, it came in a dream. It came in a dream.
And the title is
Making Sense with Yourself.
Making Sense with Your Sense.
So yeah, so it's writing is spiritual.
Wow. And then that's where, so first one, which one was the
so
first?
This one was the first one. So with this one, it came like I was just like getting the notes down and everything. Then I told my sister that, you know what, I'm thinking all these notes I have, I want to put it in a book.
Okay.
But that time I didn't really have that experience of writing a book, because it was more like your tutorial, which was kind of boring. So when I told my sister today, she was like, no, this is boring. I think let's try to put it in a better reading format. But she's also a publisher. That's why she fires you.
We love family like that.
Yeah, she always laughs with my English. I say, hey, your English, I think you need to go back to English classes.
I've always told them, but we are
anyway,
okay. English is not our mother.
Yeah.
I always say English is not my mother.
But so long you can understand, it's fine.
It's fine.
So she then helped me, like, so this book, if you read it, it's in a letter format, like I was writing a letter to my daughter when she turned 15 years, like giving her all the lessons she needs to know about finances.
Goosebumps. I have goosebumps. Before we go into the book, let's take a quick break. Tell me, you said the book is like a letter format to your daughter. Okay.
So with this book, we ended up like putting it as a letter format. So I was writing a letter to my daughter when she turned 15, but she's still 7 though.
Oh wow! Actually, I did that for my daughter, but it was just a birthday gift. I did a letter for her when she turned 11, but to say to you at 21, something like that. You know, things like Oh, beautiful. I must post that.
Yeah.
But that natural. So how many kids do you have?
Two.
Two.
7
Okay.
and 4.
7 and 4. So daughters or just
daughter and son. But I think I'll just bear.
so it means the other, there has to be the other one that will come. Let's say
my son.
So
I think I
yeah.
have to do it. So in this book, I was just writing to hear, like, just giving you like the lessons about money, because remember at school we had just taught about school. At church we had just we were taught about good behavior, knowing God and that stuff, but no way where we are taught about money. So I was giving you that knowledge about money, that you know what. In the first chapters, I was talking about the values and beliefs. Because as growing up, we inherit beliefs from our parents, from our community, or from the people who surround us. Like other people, they feel like it's difficult to have money. As Africans, we have to be suffering. You have to suffer. If you're a Christian, you need to be suffering. No, I don't know where we inherited those beliefs. So the first chapter I spoke to you about values and beliefs. That some of the things we need to unlearn them, because they don't really serve any purpose when it comes to your money.
Wow.
So yeah,
I really love that, because there is so much that we inherit and unaware. And then when you are older, you start doing things that they are not you, but inherited.
Yes. But subconsciously those beliefs are in our mind. So it's more like going through the whole spiritual process of re-cleansing yourself and learning all those stuff, and just start believing that okay, money loves me. And I always get money. You know.
Sure. Let me share a quick story. Actually, with me, my mom is like very wise when it comes to money. My mom, no qualification or further education other than high school, but she is so money saving. You know, I could easily say my mom could be a millionaire if she's not one. But what that did for me, somehow, I learned the opposite of money. I learned the opposite. I became scared of money somehow, but I don't know where we didn't meet. She was always about money. Like my mom, you will ask for money to buy ice or to buy amakipkip. My mom will tell you, you know. So I think I like subconsciously learned, like, if at Imaleke is not full, I learned something else about money. And I became so tight, and I didn't like money so much, because I felt like her character and money, I couldn't access her. But I didn't stop loving or being, you know, this is my mom. But I think I started having a bad relationship with money. The way she was with money. There was a time where I really thought I don't deserve to have money. I wouldn't, in any other, I've started many businesses, or people tell me, you are good at this, you can run events and all that. But because I couldn't charge. You know, then you talked also about church, where you get other teachings at church, like I said, imali pande yesono. And then you're thinking, when you charge or when you want money, when you want to ask for more money, it's more like it's sin to ask for so much money. So these two things are touching also. I am learning, and I'm going back to why I bought that books, because really emotionally, money used to make me so mad. When I got married, it also became a biggest issue. I couldn't discuss my salary, I could, you know, all of those things, but it will make me so uncomfortable if you will ask me about money. Everything changes. So uncomfortable. But I'm better. I've learned, and that's why you are here to learn more.
No, you know what I always say, we learn every day. And also you understanding yourself, where that fear is even coming from. It helps you in your journey to start understanding and start changing.
I love the imparting of what you understood, sharing that with your daughter. Okay, now to us as all other daughters. Thank you to your upcoming 15-year-old. So it is a letter format and everything.
Everything's a letter format. Like you just put your chapters, your money personalities. Because I also put like those like the money avoiders, like the personality we're talking about is more like a money avoider. Like you just don't want to speak anything about money because it just scares it just scares you, like that kind of thing. So you'll be avoiding anything to do with money, and with that also you making money to run away from you. But that is unintentionally, because you don't even know that you're doing it to money.
Yes. Also there is character, so that you get to find yourself in the midst of But
I think also the good part of it, like, is talking about it, that you go to understand it. Where was it even coming from? What's the moment where you understand where's the root coming from? You are able to start working towards it, and say let me change this, let me do it like this. So it was different chapters. Then we also
what school never taught my daughter. So it's our responsibility actually as parents to try and understand just this type.
yes, just
At school they don't learn this.
they will never teach
And
us about
we
money.
give them money, we carry every day, and what they do with that money, we also don't teach them to say, we say, don't buy sweets or don't buy something. We don't teach them the bigger
Picture.
money.
About it, yeah. So each time, like when you give them pocket money, you just need to tell them that, okay,
talent.
from this pocket money, yes, it's yours, but you need to be
But
responsible.
yeah.
Like put something aside, save something.
Yeah.
Like what your daughter was talking about, that putting 10% aside.
Yeah.
It's very important. This is for them to start doing
Wow.
it at a younger age. Like
Wow.
just to learn that, okay, if I give it 20 rand, let me put 2 rand aside.
Yeah.
It might sound is little, but it accumulates.
Yes.
Also the same way when you're spending money.
Yes.
You feel like, okay, I'm getting this special thing, but it
Yeah.
always accumulates
She
if you
was
add up.
so excited the other day when she had to use her money to buy something, you know,
See.
after practically doing it. So I also like the fact that the practicality of how somebody can teach their kids and you can see at the end.
And the result.
Oh guys, there it is. And you can also get a copy. Okay, this is me offering my services. You can also get these from me. Conversations with the Pumzela will be selling this. Yes. So published out, where can we find this one?
This one you can find it on Take a Lot or even Amazon if you're outside of South Africa.
So it's there.
It's there
No
already.
excuse, guys. No excuse out there.
Yeah.
So when did this come out?
Last
This
year,
one, last year.
last year in June.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow. No, I think you're right. It was spiritual. Everything. And then you already have a second book.
Already second
Oh,
book.
Tarie.
So this one is it's a
Oh,
new
yes.
piece just published just recently.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the difference between the two.
Okay, both of them they teach about money, obviously.
Okay.
Both of them talking about money. But this one it just teaches you, like, even suppose sometimes people we don't get to save in because we'll be feeling like the money I'm earning is little, but which is not the actual truth. There's no money which is little, to be honest.
Yeah. There is no money that is little.
There's no money that is little, but it depends what you're doing with that little money. So this book, like this book, without me like saying too much what's in the book.
I like that.
So the grandfather passed away, so he left some money for his grandson, but it was just coins he left for him.
Okay.
So the first thought which came to the grandson when he got the money, it was like, let's go and spend the money. But he was speaking with his friend, then the friend was like, but why can't we maybe go to our parents just to ask for ideas so that we can grow the money? So they grew their sense. Because of the sense, they grew their sense.
Amazing. So like that common sense or that thing, that sense that came out, then
They managed to grow their sense. So it's just more like teaching our kids that, okay, whatever money you get, whatever pocket money you're given, put something aside from that. It can actually grow you and you can end up like starting a business you never know.
Yes, and that will bring you more sales.
More sales.
That will become more rent,
Rent.
more thousands,
Thousands.
more millions. Conversations with the Pumzela, the girl next door. We are still here. You know what? We'll take another quick break. But what I want to talk about now is you as an entrepreneur. Now, this was the first base of the essence of you, but you also, with all that you have learned, you've done so much to a point whereby you had to do this, but before you were in so many businesses. I want you to share the story of the different type of business. This farming, this beauty, now there's this, and all. How were you doing this, and how were you managing this, and also studying at the same time, parenting and being a wife, because the essence of self is knowing your whole life.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, definitely talent. 2 books in such a short space of time. Before this, you were doing farming. Okay, I know the love of farming from your mom. But you started the Chicks Organic Ridge. Chicks as in the chickens or chicks as in
No.
the girls? I'm kidding.
So Chicks is actually like our surname. My husband's surname is Chigwada, so we
Oh,
cut it.
so it's Chigwada and then Chicks.
Chicks, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the
So-
other businesses that you're part of, yeah?
So the mushroom farming, what happened in 2020, remember what was happening in 2020, we're like, okay, I think now it's that time to like to really look at having multiple sources of income. We can't just be relying on our salaries only.
True.
So yeah, through my classes, you know that I get to meet this other lady, but now I call her my sister or my mother. So when we were like just talking, she told me that she's doing mushroom farming. Then I was like, what? Mushrooms.
As in mushroom.
Yeah, the mushrooms, you know, like your. But we do the oyster, mushroom.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, when I told
so
Walter,
to me. Yeah.
when I told Walter was the last farming, yeah, he means make sure that the garden you put vegetables at the back. I was like, no. I know someone who's doing mushroom farming, and she stays close at us. Can you go and see?
Wow.
So when we went to see, we were just like blown by all the process it's done. Because I thought you put it in the soil, and it's not that. I'll show you the picture.
Oh yeah, like seeds.
Like seeds and all that.
Dig, put seeds.
Put seeds. That's the picture
Wow.
which I had in my mind when she told me about mushrooms. So when we saw the whole process, we're like, this is something we can try. So we asked them to teach us, and they showed us, and since 2020, that's when we started doing mushroom farming.
How is it going?
No, it's going fine. It's just sometimes the weather, it does affect it, but
okay.
I can't complain because we also love eating mushrooms. So instead of us going to buy the mushrooms,
you have them at home.
we have them at home, and if we've got extra, we sell.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask then, are you also selling them?
Yeah.
And oh wow,
So
that is still the business, and it's still standing.
It is still standing, yeah.
Nice.
Still
So it
standing.
has its own income generating.
It's generating, yeah.
Guys.
You can just add on it, yeah. Then yeah, so as I was also like researching on other farming, we can do that without using much space.
Yeah.
I also noticed that fish farming, you can actually use your fish pond. So we had a fish pond which was not being in use. So we're like, okay, let's look where we can find fish. So we started doing them this year, but apparently in winter, fish, yeah, your tilapia.
Okay.
So we started them. I think we started them in March this year, but
Okay.
apparently we didn't know that when it gets very cold, we're supposed maybe to put something to warm up. So they all died in winter in June. But we didn't give up. We bought new ones now.
New ones, okay.
I'll tell you.
And then you also put like, what do you do when you do fish? You call it fish farming.
Yeah, fish farming. Yeah. So we
Okay, tell me that process. That's so new.
So you just actually we had a fish pond. So
Yeah.
we just put water in the fish pond. Then you just need your pump.
Yeah.
I think the pump is
Just
the
to
only
make sure
expensive
that-
thing
yeah.
we need to buy. But pumps are not that expensive. I think we
Yeah.
bought ours for 1,000 rand.
Okay.
So that the water can continue circulating. So you just put your fish there, and you make sure you feed them every day, like little feeding.
Wow.
But it's a low cost project. It doesn't require like your attention.
Yes.
Because it's just only the feeding part of which you do.
Nice.
every
And
day.
then you sell fish.
Then you sell fish sell. So they say it takes about 6 months to 8 months for them to grow.
To grow bigger, so that
bigger.
can
So I'll tell you how it goes, because
wow.
we only bought them I think 2 months or a month ago.
Nice. Oh, lovely. I love new business ventures, because that's something that I think I've never heard or never thought about it. I know you need to go to a dining somewhere to get fish.
Yeah.
So you can do it at home.
You can actually do it all. And with me, I was like, fish farming is like, it doesn't require your energy, like for you to be checking. If also the mushroom farming, because mushroom farming, the labor is only the first part when you like put them in the bags and you store. Then after that, you just wait for them to grow and just make sure that the weather is, the temperatures are okay in the room.
So the common thing, but yours it's like, mine is normal stuff. We also started selling eggs and acha. Also 2020, we're like, guys, we need something else. We need to do something. We need some business.
That extra money to buy the bread.
Yes, that easy money and all that. But also when I started then, it became like, I already wanted to, like, I need chickens, I need to farm, but it's been slow. But yeah, now I'm motivated. I am motivated that I'm going on. I'm continuing. Wow.
So with me, I always say, like, even if it's something it's small, even the money is small, it can cover on other costs, and that money we're using on that,
and
it can grow on other areas.
Definitely.
So yeah, so.
Oh wow. And then the beauty industry.
So the beauty industry. So that one is a venture.
So the chicks, then it became a family business.
Yeah. So this is
so every other thing that you do it under the Chicks Foundation or Chicks.
So the chicks farming, it's mainly for the farming.
Okay.
But yeah, my husband is like the go-to person because he loves farming. Like he's really hands-on on that. With me,
the CEO.
We know, but
he's
the marketing.
CEO.
Yeah, he's the CEO.
And the marketing.
And the marketing.
Guys, this is so funny because it sounds so common here in my house. I'm also doing marketing for Corazon Consulting. So yeah, I love it. Little girls, we're doing it. We're telling you things that we're doing. I love it.
Then also on the chicks, my husband, I told you he's a also does, he helps the small businesses with their
When you say
financials.
CA, you yeah.
So he helps.
It goes on the other side of my professional business.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he helps small business with their financials,
Okay.
tax planning, all that kind of stuff. He does that
Okay.
as well. But let's talk finances, Tarie. It's a registered business on its
On
own.
its own.
When we teach about financial literacy, yes.
Perfect. Okay. Wow.
So yeah, let's talk finances. It's just more like financial, like personal finance awareness. How people we need to manage our money.
And all that, and coaching and the books makes sense. And then the beauty, because you're working with
so
the hair and the
so that actually that was something which I started I think 2020 but I ended up like resigning on it.
Oh, okay.
Because it was also like putting so much pressure on my on everything in my life. So it was a joint venture which we started with a friend. We were just talking like, okay, when COVID happens, many salons were closing and people with that inconvenience of where can you find a hairdresser. So the idea was to put a platform where hairdressers can register on the platform. Then you just as customers you just go on the platform, you look for a hairdresser, then they capture your place like an Uber. It was like an Uber kind of, yeah. Wow. The idea was great, but it needed also a lot of marketing, a lot of time in it. Also that time I couldn't like really juggle through everything, so I ended up resigning on that one.
But that was a beautiful concept.
It was a beautiful
because
concept,
I'm also one of those who like to do most of the stuff at home. Like still now, my hairstylist always comes here at home.
Yes.
I don't go to the salon. I don't know. It just gives me. I get tired sitting there, so I'm comfortable. But that's a nice.
It was a nice concept. She's still pushing it through it, and I always like to check on her, like how's it going.
Wow.
And the concept was nice, but it's just that you all end up feeling bad, like you're also not putting much time into it.
And then so that's another learning tool in terms of money, in terms of business, running a business, to understand where you are.
To understand where you are, and also do you have the emotional, because when it comes to business also your emotional capacity is also there, so
when you are here then you can
everything else it just goes
oh wow. It's so exciting, with women. There is so much more that we can teach each other and learn from each other, because our stories are so similar yet different.
Yes, true.
Yet different but so similar. And talking about your daughter, also talking about teaching your kids, running, your husband has a business that you are part of, you have your own business that you are running and supporting each other in the midst of it. I can feel that the world has changed, and you kept on referring to 2020, 2021, which is COVID time. Do you also feel or think that COVID had to happen for most of us to realize so much that we have, that we needed to dig inside ours to take it out now post-COVID?
True. I always say, like, you know what, I think it's yes, we lost our relatives, we lost friends, we lost colleagues and all that, but I feel like, I think there was a reason why God put COVID, because in that COVID time, because sometimes I always post back to 2020, I think like if COVID wasn't there, I don't think I would have published these books. I don't think so. But because when COVID came, it was just that time where you have like to think deeper, like, okay, with me only just saying that I'm an accountant, I work for this organization, is that enough? Is that enough? Yeah. Then it triggered us like to go deeper and see what more can we add.
True. Yeah, I always say, I think there was one video that I did also when I did reflection, COVID time, and I think I also had the sense that it's either you are in the now, in the time, to see what COVID, why is it here for you, and if you missed it, actually you missed it. If you didn't use the time to slow down the noise, the traffic, having too many people in your life, work, malls and all that, where you are containing your own home, so that I think for me it was I will always call it my beautiful time.
Yeah, true.
Because I was very busy as a I had so many friends, and I would feel guilty not fulfilling my obligation with family and friends and all that. But when COVID came, that's when I realized that I missed so much in my small, like, comfort of my home, but I missed me more.
Yes, true.
I only got to know myself more when everything was not there. And mostly people, I'm for people. You can steal their car, I can lose money, I can lose anything, but I am so much for the people. But COVID taught me something different, because in that I lost a sense. I didn't know that I lost me, but I found me and everything else.
Yes, true.
So yeah, it's beautiful to reflect and to see more or less the same thing happening for other people.
True.
And people can learn. Oh, Tarie, thank you so much for coming. But before you go, we're gonna do another ad break, so that you can tell people to watch Conversations with Ukumza and how was it to be here, taking a short break. So earlier I was saying, I love the network of women. Like, I've learned so much from you in terms of my own things that I'm doing, trying business and trying conversation and every other thing. And you being here, that women, it's easy for us to teach each other and be in a space where we can transfer or tell somebody about somebody. And how did you know about conversation?
So this other day I went for a market.
Yeah.
So I said, like, okay, let me take my kids to the market, because I'm always teaching them about money, but they don't really know where the money really comes from. So I was like, okay, let's do a practical lesson. So we went to the market. So when I had my store, on the next store there was these ladies, they were selling their oils. So during the day I was like, let me just catch up with other people and just to know what people are doing. So I met Sis Corinne.
Yes.
So we started chatting. Then she was telling me about the oils, and I got so interested in the oils. Then I was like, let me get your number.
Yes.
So I took her number. So this other day, I think after a week or so, she sent me a message that, like, you know, I thought about you and your book, because I was selling my books as well on that market. Then she was like, I got a friend who works at the radio. Please, I've also spoken about it. Please get in touch with him if you got a time. And I was like, oh, thank you so much, God. I'm praying for this. I'm always praying for this connection. So I think it was just a spiritual connection that I just spoke with her, and we exchanged numbers, and it just led me.
And the funny thing is, she was my manager. She was my boss before. And then she hit me up, because she always does that. And I love it when you meet somebody in your life that will always remember you, because she was like, I see you doing great. And she's always like championing what I do, you know, forever. So we used to work together at the legislature. And she was like, there's a special person, and you're so alike. Please have her on the channel. And here we are today.
So even I always believe that each person I meet, there's a spiritual connection with that
and
person.
it dots you to the next.
Yeah.
Yes. I am seeing the same thing. But thank you so much for honoring me and our guests all over. Abanye abakhona in the room, because we always have audience now. Hey audience. We're loving audience now at Conversations with Ukumza, and all those who will check us online, please do subscribe, because when you only view and we don't grow the subscribers, we're not going to be able to bring so much more information to you. Remember to subscribe, and if you find this content helpful for you, share it, because we are here to share our experiences, our learnings, and definitely they will help you. If they are helping us, it means they can help you. Conversations with Ukumza, the girl next door, with another now girl next door, Tarie Wamari. I like that. Money. You remind me of my mom. My mom loves money so much, and definitely she'll be the first to watch this one. Thank you so much. Conversations with Ukumza, the girl next door.
Hi everyone, this is Tarie, and today I'm having a conversation with Pumzile, the girl next door. Apparently just talking about money. What can you do about money? As you know, I'm a money lover, and I love talking all things money. My job is to remind you that your money matters and you must be in charge of it. So as the money lover, this is my first book, which I published last year. In this book, it's called What School Never Taught My Daughter. It teaches the teenagers how best they can manage their money. In this book, I put all the money mistakes I made in my life, because, as you know, there's no script of how we need to manage our money. It's something you have to learn through the mistakes and everything. So I just made it easier for our kids, so that it will be easier for them to understand how best to live their life and taking care of their money. And this is my second book, which was published this month, and it's Making Sense with Your Sense. This book, it also teaches our younger kids about money. It's apparently about two boys who managed to get some money, like, what can I call it? They managed to get a lump sum money from the grandfather, And with that money, it was like little money, but they managed to get some lessons from their parents who knew about financial literacy, and they managed to start a business from a young age. So those are the lessons we just need to remind ourselves, that we need to make sense with the little money we have.
Thank you.
So this book, you can find it on Takealot. It's going for 200 Rand, or you can also find it on Amazon if you're outside of South Africa, or maybe you can just get in touch with us. You can email us on info@letstalkfinanceswithtarie.co.za. And this book, there's a special price on it. It's going for 150 Rand, but now we've got 40 copies which are going for 120 Rand. So rush up and get this book for 120. You can actually email us to get this copy, or you can contact Pumzile, the girl next door, to get your copy. And you can also find us on our blog. Our website is Let's Talk Finances with Tarie, and all our social media pages is Let's Talk Finances with Tarie. Then on YouTube as well, Let's Talk Finances with Tarie, so that we can talk more and get to understand how best we can take care of our money.